Hello, let's do Wordle for Friday, April 3rd. Let's play. Yesterday spun the wheel, and it's set to start with pizzazz, and I think we're going to learn some very interesting things today. All right, so we learned that not only is there not one Z, there's also not two Z's, and there's not three Z's. Very, very rare to have learned all that information in the first guess, so quite strong start. There's a few common letters left. S, T, R, L, N are the consonants that are left that are common. So I think something like something like stern would be good just to just pump out all those consonants. I know it always suggests something a little bit better. Like I think store, I think honestly store is probably better than stern. So we're just gonna go for store. We need a strong follow-up. All right, starts with S, ends in E. That's quite good. We still need L and N. So is there like an Slime isn't going to be a word. If it is, I don't want to guess it because it's not a real word. An answer word. But we could do slime. I think that's close enough to what I need. Slime or smile. I'm going to put the L second. SL is good. All right. There's an I. So is it something like since? Oh, I thought I had it. What is it? Singe? Okay, let's just double check that there's not like a bunch of these left, but I think it's just singe. It is guess five. Always want to be careful on guess five. Not that I have much choice here. I'm trapped. All right, it is just singe. Okay. Thought I had it in four. Actually got it in five. All right. But I mean, like our start was just so strong. It was almost like cheating. All right. Before we continue, let's see if we get another strong start tomorrow. Give it a spin. We will be starting with throw, suggested by Kayla Young. All right. Actually, that's an interesting one because the T and the R are common. The H is kind of second tier. O is kind of a second tier vowel. W is mid tier. So it's kind of got an interesting mix of tiers there. Cool. Well, hopefully we don't throw tomorrow's solve. Let's do some analysis on today's solve. So the answer was singe, and we started with pizzazz. Oh, in hard mode. And it suggests tones here, interestingly. I did store. Okay. There were only 17 words left, so we were in a good spot here. It suggests snide. Is slime or smile here? It is not. That's interesting. All right. Well, I went slime. And after that, there were four words left. Siege, sieve, since, and singe. So two similar ones and two similar ones. But if you go siege or singe, and I did since, unfortunately, siege or singe gets you the answer next. Either it is the answer or it gets you it next because that G is key here. That G, like siege and sieve are one letter off from each other. Since and singe are one letter off from each other. But the G is common between siege and singe. So guessing one of those two, that G gives you that extra boost to tell you what the final word is. Unfortunately, I didn't realize all that, and I went since, but we were just down to singe after that anyway. All right. Actually, was there really? Yeah. Okay. So the thing we wanted to avoid was guessing sieve in this case, because sieve still leaves since and singe, and that gets us a 6. We don't lose, but that's a nail biter. All right. I'm going to see if I was emailed the analysis of pizzazz. I might actually already have it somewhere. I don't know if this is the first time we start with pizzazz. We do have the analysis. Okay, that's great. So what does he have to say? Oh, even though Pizzazz's analysis is built into Calcle, it only knows the top line. So in case you want to check your second guess or see other options here. Wow. The ultra hard mode list was calculated in 20 seconds, while the hard mode list took 97 minutes. All right. So it is built in. That's why this was here. So after Pizzazz, it suggests tones. And then let's look at how store was. Store might lose. Okay, so I think it's the ER potential. That's what store would lose on. So that's why store wasn't in the list. All right. So from here we get the N, E, and S. We're down to 5 words: dense, rinse, sense, since, and singe. And if we go since or singe, we get it next, guaranteed actually, which is really interesting for all 5 words. So you could get singe in 3, or you could go since, singe, and get it in 4. But those are the 2 options. Nice, not bad. Tones. I'll have to remember that for pizzazz. Tones can't be the answer, so it's a throwaway. But I mean, if you're going to start with pizzazz, you might as well throw away your second as well. Okay, let's look at tails. After tails, it's prose, and then we go singe and we win. Just lucky. Okay, gets a 3 out of luck. Steal, another anagram. We get that S at the start. We're gonna go snipe, and then it's since or singe. So it's 3 or 4. Wonder how many of you went since then singe. All right, adieu is the most common start. We get that INE. With that INE, we go relit. And relit, since, singe is what's going to happen next. Or singe right away. So 3 or 4. So same as pizzazz. All right, audio. We get that I. We go pissed. Seems very common. Can have that memorized. And then we're going to go siege, singe. Or we're going to go straight to singe. So another 3 or 4. Stare. We have that S and that E. We're going to go spine. From spine, we're in that since, singe again. Trace. From trace, we just have the E at the end. We're going to go slope. It's common letters. Sedge is interesting. From sedge, we go singe. Is singe in the list? Singe is tied for first, so we could get a 3 or a 4. Okay, and finally, clasp is what the official bot starts with. We just have the S. We're going to go siren. Get those R in the N there. And from siren is only singe. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess that makes sense because SC is gone. All right, so probably, I don't think that the official bot actually uses siren. I think it uses something else, but we'll see if I'm remembering that right. All right, I'm going to save this screenshot so I have it. And then we will analyze the bot, starting with hard mode. 86 skill, 49 luck. All right. Pizzazz has a skill of 5. Okay. So 58 others start with Pizzazz. Stern and Store are the most common follow-ups. Stole. I don't think anyone did the what the bot did. But this bot says toner, but I'm sure that walks right into the OER trap and you don't have enough guesses left to actually succeed. So that's not actually a good idea. Crest, flute, ghost, tried. All right, steel with double E is an interesting choice. I don't mind it too much. If there's an E, there's often 2 of them. All right. 68 skill on slime. I really didn't like it. Snide was way better according to this. Or just get the answer with singe. And then since left only 1 solution left. Yeah. He gave us 78 for since. Yeah, singe would have been better. Singe or siege here. Singe or siege were the good ones. All right, clasp siren. Oh, it does do siren. Clasp siren singe. Okay. We have a 0.3 getting it in 1. 4.4, 31, 70.9, 91.3 on turn 5 already. And then 97.6, actually. This is we have some people losing on whinge, tinge. The inge trap. Whinge, tinge, hinge, binge, minge, pinge. And then we also have since. We have dinge, ginge, ringe. Holy cow. Who knew about the inge trap? I'm pretty sure most of these inges are not on the answer list, though. That's something we can check with the bot here because we're filtering for answer list. So if the answer is singe and we guess whinge, how many other guesses are there? Okay, so there are quite a few answers. So I don't know if whinge is. Okay, so we're gonna make whinge whinge is not on the answer list because it didn't green it out. So whinge is a non-answer. Whoops. Singe. Whinge. So in the inge trap, the possible answers are binge, hinge, singe, and tinge. I know all those words. That's reasonable. The unlikelies are dinge, ginge, minge, pinge, ringe, and whinge. So don't guess those. Even binge, hinge, singe, tinge, that's already 4 options. So if you haven't eliminated, S, T, H, or B, by the time you get into the inge trap, you might be in trouble. But Who doesn't eliminate some of those in their first couple guesses? All right. Anyway, yeah. Okay. That's the trap. I didn't even realize. So let's analyze the non-hard mode. So non-hard mode, people tend to do worse for whatever reason. It's not as good at the game. All right. So store and most common follow-up, stern. Store and stern are tied. So I guess there's some people who start with pizzazz multiple times. Cloud. Okay, so there's some people trying to lose, right? Pizzazz, XVIII. Let's start with some fun words. That is apparently a thing people will do. So that's discounted. They're not actually trying to win. Slime since I don't really want to look at these. Slate, and then it does a filler with chirp, and then does siege cinch. And I don't know how much the filler actually helped in this case, but right. 0.4 got it in 1. 3.5, 25.6, 64, 88.2. That's way lower than the 91. 96.7. Okay. And it's the same deal. Whinge, binge, hinge, singe, tinge, minge, pinge, dinge. All right. So that's interesting. So you haven't gotten the S yet when you get to the inge trap. And you decide to guess stuff like whinge and binge and minge and pinge and dinge before guessing singe. I guess just not thinking of it. All right, cool. Well, how'd you do? And that is it for Wordle. If you would like to watch the New York Times games, you can click right at the end of the video. It'll take you right there. I also have a pinned comment with all the games I played today. And if you enjoyed this, want to leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.